A rookie LeBron, who was 3 years and 3 months older, asked him over for dinner. I know what I think about that, but Keyshawn, your thoughts?
I mean, they grew up in Akron. I mean, they're both born in Akron, Ohio. I mean, there's no real thoughts to it. Skip,
Well, I
we
don't
get
think
invited.
Steph ever claimed Akron.
Yeah, but I'm saying they kind of born in the same place. Both play NBA basketball. You hang out with people when you first get in the league. You're introduced to people, whether they're athletes or celebrities or whatever the case you want to call it. They invite you places. Hey, I'm having dinner at my house and I want you to come by. Or if you're in town, So I'm sure that's really all it is. And it's sit and talk about basketball, sit and talk about football. I mean, I've been invited to so many different gatherings early in my career and whatnot. What's so weird about that? I don't see anything. It happens all the time, Skip. There's no, man, come join me with the Cavs. It's none of that.
No.
None of that trick stuff going on.
Look, LeBron also with KD offered him, sort of advice and an olive branch.
Yeah.
When KD came into the league, KD actually flew to Akron to play in a flag football game.
He did, but it was during the lockout.
But
it was
again,
2012. And then a couple of months later, they're going head-to-head in the NBA Finals, and LeBron is abusing KD, taking him down low. Go ahead.
Yes.
No, he was.
My point is that LeBron has done this before. And by the way, it's not like LeBron corners the market on this. Kobe, I'm going to kill everyone who's not in a Lakers uniform, Bryant. There is an amazing photo of him and Tracy McGrady riding roller coasters together when T-Mac was a rookie. Kobe, of course, a year older. Kobe and Allen Iverson, who at one point had such a rivalry going that Kobe trashed a hotel room and threw a TV because he saw what Allen scored on the opposite coast. In that time, when they were big rivals, Kobe invited Allen out to L.A. They showed up. AI stayed at his house. You can go back to Michael Jordan. Charles Barkley has unfortunately, quashed they play golf together during the finals story. He said that's not true. But what is true is that Michael Jordan played golf with Danny Ainge during the playoffs in the mid-'80s. So this goes back.
It's normal.
Not for Jordan. It wasn't normal. He played golf with Danny Ainge because it was cutthroat for money that was indescribably huge.
but you could still
it was for blood and guts,
and you could still do things.
Yeah, but it wasn't for friendship. And Michael kept Charles around, I don't care what anybody says, as a court jester for a while. And then when Charles said something on television that Michael didn't like, that was the end of that thing. So here's the point. I'm not old school on this. I'm more Michael Jordan school. I think Keyshawn's is from the same school of if you're going to compete against them, you don't want to be close friends with them. You just don't. And I believe you didn't want to be close friends against people that you were going blood and guts competitively against. That's just me. And Jordan was like that from day one. He just did not want to associate. I think LeBron has been very sly about this in a good way because he's the classic keep your friends close and your enemies closer, where he did want to buddy up to players coming up. And Steph was more of a contemporary. It wasn't like he was going to be big brother to Steph because Steph was going to become a rival. And I think LeBron saw that right away. And it's like you want to buddy up with them and you want to kind of soften them up and you want to become friends with them or at least friendly with them so that if you're going against each other, maybe he won't go quite as hard as he might have because he likes you.
Stop,
No, he likes you. Well, hey, listen, Jordan wanted nothing to do with anybody. I know, I was there.
Jordan was friends with Magic. He was friends with Magic.
No.
They hung out. They traveled.
No, they did not. They did not.
Skip.
He did. Hey, trust me. He wanted nothing to do with anybody who mattered.
Magic mattered back then.
Yeah.
LeBron met Steph Curry when Steph was playing at Davidson, went to a game, right? So it certainly follows when this kid comes into the league, not drafted as a top draft pick or anything, and we certainly did not know his rookie year. We knew he was special and he was obviously an NBA-style player, but we didn't know he was going to turn into Steph Curry.
You never know who's going to turn into what, other than maybe
So the fact that
guys.
LeBron was like, I knew this kid when he was in college, and he's new in the league, and not, the
Although
superstars.
I'm going to defend myself on Steph. I said he's going to be something when he gets to the league, and I was pushing hard on television. You got to take it number one.
I did
number
not
one
say
overall.
that you wasn't.
Yeah,
it's just like the guy
everybody was all
it's
about
just
Blake
like the
Griffin.
guy who's
Let me
calling.
finish. Everybody was all about Blake Griffin then,
well,
and I was the
bigger.
only one who said nope, it's Steph, and he went seventh.
I understand.
Really?
But you have to look at the situation at the time,
Yeah.
and then when they became head-to-head crazy rivals during those years when they were fighting for the finals, they were not friends.
They were not friends.
And you remember the Halloween party LeBron threw, where he made fun of the Warriors and individual players,
Yeah.
like on the tombstone cookies. There's reports about what so and so said to so and so at a wedding about trash talking. On the Warriors side, trash talking LeBron. All of this stuff. They were not buddy then.
No.
But then now they have clearly become close, which happens. Again, Kobe and Tracy McGrady riding roller coasters when they were both starting out in the NBA. Then when they were competing for scoring titles, they were not hanging out anymore.
No.
I had a great conversation with the two of them, unfortunately, shortly before Kobe died. And they were telling me how, they didn't even speak for years. But then later, when they got toward the end, that friendship picked back up, and they became like huge buddies as AAU dads, afterward or whatever.
Kobe was great as a father figure mentor for a Kyrie or especially a Jason Tatum, but they were like his little brothers or almost like his sons at that point because he was more up there in his career.
But they also play basically the same sort of ball positioning, usage, high usage guys where Steph Curry, LeBron, you got a big dude and a smaller guy that he liked him as, when he saw him at Davidson. And that's just, it happens in the league, Skip. I was friends with guys that played on other teams that we were close to, but then eventually we started trying to compete for championships.
That's it.
And we was good. I didn't really deal with you as much. It wasn't no, hey, man, I'm in town, it was just like, but it doesn't mean that I don't like you. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to, it's just, I'm good. I'll catch up with you at the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, the dinner thing to me, especially given the timing, LeBron had already been in the league for a few years. You have this kid that you had already had a connection with. Yeah, I can see Savannah being, let's invite him to dinner. And, oh, that's a good idea, I mean, why not when he's in town?
So I'm glad you brought up the KD thing because, again, they were locked out in 2012. And I think LeBron also went to Oklahoma City to hang out with him and play some different
I was at
flag
the Akron
football.
one,
You were at
so
the Akron one?
I remember that clearly.
All right.
I do remember something about OKC. I wasn't
I
there,
think
though,
they
but,
did do that.
But-
And then, fatefully, they wind up going against each other in games 3, 4, and 5. They were all in Miami because that was when it's 2-3-2. Yeah, so 3, 4, and 5 because they closed them out. They won game 2 in Oklahoma City, and then they just kept winning in Miami. But LeBron just kept taking KD down low and just killing him, just because. And they'd also played a lot of. I think they played a lot of one-on-one basketball in that lockout
But
phase
think of the
also.
experience difference between that Oklahoma City team
they were
versus that
babies.
Miami team. I mean,
It was ridiculous.
It was not surprising the way the finals went down, and that's not LeBron and KD's full story. Obviously, we know what happened later. But I just think I can't understand why this would feel like a big deal, given how many players across time have operated that way, and certainly now in this era of AAU and everything, all bets are off.
Yeah, I don't see it as a big deal, especially you got a guy 3.5 years older in the league and you're just coming in. That's what happens.
Yeah.
They bring you in and they, want to just tell you all about the league, teach you about the league.
What's fun is seeing their relationship now, because you just played video of them hugging and chatting and having that, Steph gets that sly look on his face when he's having a conversation and he doesn't want people to know. So they have that relationship now. And
But I always got the feeling when they were going head-to-head in the finals, it was getting sticky between. It was very competitive.
But it's going to be that way.
No, it was nasty.
Nasty.
No, it's going to be that way because I'm playing against you, Skip. I'm not. We're cool. Like Ray Lewis was one of my really good friends coming into the league. We came into the league together. We were good. When I didn't go there in 2000 to Baltimore, instead I went to Tampa. We kind of separated a little bit, but then we got friends again, and we just kind of play against each other, and it was him on defense, me on offense, and take no prisoners. But it doesn't mean that I can't stand you. I can't stand you in between the white lines. When we get back out on the normal world, we're good.
Yeah.
I like seeing 2 of the top 10 players of all time sort of reform that relationship and sort of finally get to play together, All-Star, notwithstanding, and have this now. It's good for us basketball fans to see it. We talk about the.
Well, neither one of them
Magics
looking
and
like they're going to the championship anytime soon. So
it's